When the will was opened in the lawyer's office, my brother got everything and I got nothing. I quietly stood up and did one thing. 1 month later, my mother called and said, "Who is going to pay the mortgage on the house?" I simply said, "Not my problem." That can't be right. The words left my mouth so quietly that maybe no one in the room even heard them. But my brother Tyler did. He was sitting across from me in a leather chair, one leg crossed over the other, like he had come to an office meeting to hear about his bonus. The lawyer, Mr. Henderson, had his reading glasses lowered on his nose as he looked over the last page of the will. His office smelled like old wood, the coffee machine in the corner hummed softly, and outside the window rain was drawing straight lines down the glass. He cleared his throat. "According to your father's final will and testament, the house, the lake cabin, the investment account, and all remaining assets are left to his son, Tyler James Whitmore." My mother immediately grabbed Tyler's hand. "Your father trusted you," she said, crying, but her tears looked strange. "Too clean. Too ready." I pointed toward myself. "And me." Mr. Henderson looked at me. He seemed uncomfortable. "Emily, your name is not listed as a beneficiary." For 1 full second the room went completely silent. I laughed. I do not know why. Just a small dry laugh slipped out. "Not listed." Tyler straightened his neck. Don't make this harder than it already is." I stared at him. "Harder for who?" Mom pressed a tissue to her eyes. "Please, Emily. Today is about your father's memory. Dad died 3 weeks ago. Today is a legal meeting, not a memorial." Tyler leaned forward slightly in his chair and said, "You always do this. You turn everything into drama." "Drama?" I looked at the paper sitting on the table. "Dad left me nothing. Not even $1. And you're calling that drama?" Mr. Henderson said gently, "There is one personal note." My breath caught. "From Dad?" I asked. He picked up an envelope. My father's handwriting was on the front. "For Emily." My hands were shaking when I opened it. There was only one line inside. "Forgive me. I did what I thought would keep the family together." I read the paper again. Then a third time. Tyler asked, "What does it say?" I folded the paper, put it in my purse and pushed my chair back. Mom said, "Emily, sit down. We need to discuss." "No." "Excuse me." Tyler said. I stood up. "You got everything. Congratulations." My mother's voice sharpened. "This is what your father wanted." I started walking toward the door. Tyler said, "At least act like an adult." I turned around. "I am. That's why I'm leaving." Mom said, "Emily, family walks through grief together." I looked at her. For a long time. Then I said, "Not this family." And I walked out of the office. The rain was heavy in the parking lot. My black coat was getting soaked, but I did not run to my car. I walked slowly, as if with every step, something inside me was breaking and rearranging itself. A message from Mom appeared on my phone. "Don't embarrass us. Come back inside." I did not reply. When I got into my car, I looked at myself in the rearview mirror. My eyes were red, but I was not crying. Then I opened the glove compartment, took out the spare key Dad had given me 2 years earlier, and drove straight to his house. Dad's house was the same house where I had grown up. White siding, blue shutters, and the same 2 rocking chairs on the porch. One was Dad's. One was Mom's. Tyler's shiny black truck was parked in the driveway. He had already gotten there before me. I did not go inside. I only went to the garage side door. I put the key in. The door opened. Dad's tools were still hanging on the garage wall. Everything was labeled. Screws, nails, paintbrushes, tax boxes. Dad was an organized man. He even arranged his socks by color. He was not the kind of man who would accidentally leave his daughter out of his will. I went straight to the back shelf where he kept the metal filing cabinet. The bottom drawer was always locked. I knew the combination. Mom did not know it. Tyler did not know it either. Dad had given me the combination when I started managing his chemotherapy appointments. "Just in case," he had said in the hospital parking lot. I opened the drawer. There were folders inside. Insurance, mortgage, medical bills, and one folder labeled, Emily, private. My hands froze. I opened the folder. Inside were bank statements, printed emails, and a USB drive. On top was a sticky note. "If they try to erase you, start here." I pulled over a chair and sat down on the cold concrete floor of the garage. Erase me, I whispered to myself. Just then I heard Tyler's voice from inside the house. Mom, she left. I told you she would. Mom said, good. Let her throw her little fit. I froze. The garage door was slightly open. Their voices were coming clearly from the kitchen. Tyler said. Henderson looked nervous. Of course he did, Mom said. Your father made a mess before he died. Did he know? Mom took a moment before answering. Not everything. I clutched the folder against my chest. Tyler said, what if Emily finds out? Mom laughed. My own mother laughed. Finds out what? That she was never supposed to get the house? That your father changed his mind too late? She has no proof. Tyler said, there's always proof. Then find it before she does. My phone almost slipped out of my hand. I left through the garage side door, got into my car and did not go home. I drove to a Starbucks drive-thru and parked in a space outside. Rain was beating against the windshield. I opened my laptop and plugged in the USB drive. It asked for a password. I typed Dad's old password. Red6 1978. Wrong. Then I tried Mom's birthday. Wrong. Then I tried my birthday. The drive opened. There was one video file inside. Dad understood before. I pressed play. Dad appeared on the screen. He looked so weak. He was sitting on the living room couch wearing the same gray sweater I had given him for Christmas. Emily, he said, and my breath broke. If you are watching this, then things probably did not happen the way they were supposed to. Forgive me. I was weak. Your mother and Tyler convinced me that you were financially stable, that you did not need me. They said the house should go to Tyler because he would carry on the family name. Dad stopped to cough. But then I found out that Tyler had transferred money out of my investment account. Your mother knew. They were both missing mortgage payments too. The house is almost in foreclosure. I just stared at the screen. Dad continued, I had a new will prepared. I was supposed to sign it at Henderson's office. In that will, you were the executor. The house was going to be in your name. Tyler was only going to receive a limited trust. But before I could sign it, my health crashed. He leaned closer to the camera. The documents are in the garage. Emails. Bank records. Show them to Henderson. And Emily. His eyes filled with water. Do not save them. I saved them for too many years. That is how it got this far. The video ended. I did not close the laptop. I just sat there. My coffee cup was untouched. Even the barista looked at me once through the window as if she wanted to ask whether I was okay. I was not okay. But for the first time I understood exactly what I had to do. The next day I went back to Mr. Henderson's office. The receptionist said, do you have an appointment? Tell him Emily Whitmore is here. And tell him I have my father's private file. 5 minutes later I was sitting in the same conference room. Mr. Henderson looked at the folder, then at me. Where did you get this? Dad's garage. He looked at the USB drive. Did you watch it? Yes. He leaned back in his chair. His face went pale. Mr. Henderson, I said, did my father try to change his will? He closed his eyes. Yes. And why didn't you tell me that yesterday? Because the revised will was not executed. Legally, I could not present it as valid. But fraud. He stayed silent. I pushed the folder across the table. Bank records. Emails. Transfers. Mom and Tyler were draining his accounts. He picked up the papers and looked through them one by one. Then he said very slowly, Emily, you need an attorney who is not me. Already called one. He looked at me. For the first time I gave him a faint smile. Dad raced me better than they remember. 3 days later Tyler received a legal notice. A week later Mom received one too. We filed a probate challenge. We also filed a complaint for financial exploitation. A bank fraud investigation began. Dad's accounts were frozen. Tyler could not sell the house. Mom could not remove anything from the lake cabin. Then the family group chat exploded. Aunt Carol. Emily, this is disgusting. Your father just died. Tyler, she's trying to steal from us. Mom, your dad would be ashamed. I sent only one message. Dad left a video. After that, the group chat went silent. 2 weeks later, Tyler came to my apartment. It was Sunday afternoon. I was folding laundry when the doorbell rang. I looked through the peephole. He was standing there in a hoodie, his hair messy, dark circles under his eyes. I opened the door halfway. What do you want? Can I come in? No. He pressed his lips together. Emily, come on. No. He stayed standing in the hallway. Drop the case, he said. I laughed. That's your apology? I'm serious. So am I. Mom's losing it. She can't sleep. She thinks she's going to jail. Maybe she should have thought about that before stealing from a dying man. Tyler's face hardened. You have no idea what it was like. I opened the door a little wider. Try me. Dad loved you more. Boys. You called, he answered. You cried, he drove over. I messed up once and he never forgot. Once. I said. Tyler, you stole from him. I borrowed. From a cancer patient? He shouted. I was drowning. A neighbor's door opened in the hallway, then immediately closed again. Tyler lowered his voice. I had debts. What debts? He looked away. Sports betting. I asked. He said nothing. Jesus, Tyler. Mom said we could fix it after Dad passed. Sell the cabin, pay everything off, and nobody would know. I said quietly, nobody would know because I would be erased. For the first time he looked at me. Really looked at me. Mom said you didn't need it. And you believed her? You have a job. A condo. And you have no conscience. He laughed bitterly. You think you're so perfect. No. I think I didn't rob Dad while he was dying. He slammed his hand against the wall. Damn it, Emily. I tried to close the door but he put his hand in the way. Please, he said. They're going to take the house. I said, good. That's our childhood home. No. It's collateral now. You both turned it into gambling debt and lies. He stared at me. You're cold. I shook my head. No. I'm done being warm for people who used me as a backup plan. Then I closed the door. That night Mom left 15 voicemails. In the first one she was crying. Emily, please call me. We need to talk. In the third one she was angry. You are destroying this family. In the seventh one she was whispering. Tyler didn't mean for it to go this far. By the 10th one the real issue came out. The mortgage company called. We have 30 days. Your father always handled these things. I don't know what to do. I did not answer. 1 month later, exactly 1 month later, I was leaving my office. Evening light stretched across the parking lot. My phone rang. I looked at the screen for a while, then answered. What? There was silence on the other end. Then my mother's tired voice came through. Who is going to pay the mortgage on the house? I was standing beside my car, keys in my hand. The air was cold. I asked, which house? She started crying. Emily, please. Don't do this. The bank sent the final notice. Tyler's accounts are frozen. I have nothing. The lake cabin? That has a lien on it too. The investment account? She went silent. I said, oh right. You two already emptied that. I am your mother. She had always used that sentence like her final card. Whenever she was wrong, whenever I asked questions, whenever Tyler needed to be protected. I unlocked my car. Were you my mother when Dad was lying in a hospital bed and you were taking money out of his accounts? Emily. Were you my mother when you let me sit in that lawyer's office and be humiliated? I was scared. No. You were scared of getting caught. She was breathing hard. Please. Just make one payment. Only this month's payment. Then we'll figure it out. I looked up at the sky. The clouds were gray. It was about to rain again. Not my problem. She went completely quiet on the other end. Then she said very softly, you don't mean that. I do. You would leave us on the street? I opened my car door. You left me in that lawyer's office with nothing and called it Dad's wish. Now the bank is giving you nothing, so maybe you should call that God's wish too. Emily, please. We're done here. I ended the call. 2 months later, the house went into foreclosure auction. Tyler filed for bankruptcy. Mom moved into her sister's basement. Aunt Carol did not invite me for Christmas. I did not go anyway. The probate case is still going on, but Dad's video changed everything. The original will may not be completely overturned in court, but the fraud investigation made sure Tyler and Mom could not enjoy everything they had stolen. I bought Dad's rocking chair from the auction. Only that one thing. Now it sits on my apartment balcony. Sometimes in the morning I sit there with coffee. I can hear traffic, people walking their dogs below, and my phone stays on silent mode. Mom still messages me sometimes. I miss you. Please talk to me. Your father wouldn't want this. I do not reply. Because at the end Dad told me clearly. Do not save them. And this time I listened to him. If this story moved you, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more powerful emotional stories like this one. Your support truly means a lot and helps us keep creating meaningful content. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next story.